Hello everyone, today I'm going to discuss one of my favorite RPG games. I'm not sure how many people played this amazing game since it was released on the Sega Saturn. It came out in the early 32-bit era, and at its heart, it is a fantasy RPG game, but it actually mixes several other video game genres to create a truly unique experience. The most memorable thing in my opinion about the game are the insane battles. Up to 200 units can fight it out in a no-holds-barred mass battle. Individual units clash in 32-bit glory in hectic battles. I don't remember anything like this when I played the game for the first time. I instantly thought of the movie Braveheart when I played the game. Stick with me and let's check out Dragon Force on the Sega Saturn. Dragon Force was released here in the States in 1996, so you know what I was doing on Christmas break in 1996? Before we get going, please hit the like button if you're an OG Sega fan. How many of you played a Sega arcade game? If so, what's your favorite arcade game? This one might not be my absolute favorite game, but what about Quartet? It's a great game, and it's really not talked about too much anymore. I spent a lot of quarters at my local Aladdin's arcade. They had an awesome 4-player cabinet of Quartet. Me and my brothers spent a lot of quarters on that game. Really fun times. Sorry about that, but let's get back to the review. Dragon Force was brought out by Working Designs, which translated games to the West. I do think Working Designs does get some hate today because of the very loose translations, but I was a true fan of their work. By the time Dragon Force was released, I already was quite familiar with Working Designs. I played literally hundreds of hours of Lunar in the Sega CD. I'm pretty sure my friends were tired of hearing me talk about the game. So I instantly bought this game. I would not even have thought about how accurate the translation would be. I was just happy to get a quality game released in English. Before Dragon Force was released, I was into another one of their games on the Sega Saturn called Iron Storm. This is a World War II military strategy game with some really cool battle clips. I thought of it as a more flashy version of Panzer General. I'm not sure if it would hold up today. I still have my copy, so maybe I'll give it a try again. Dragon Force is set in the world of Legendra. The land is peaceful and watched over by the goddess Astia. But the evil god Marduk laid siege to the world, and the goddess summons a dragon to fight Marduk. The dragon is not powerful enough to end Marduk's reign, though. The dragon did seal him away until 8 chosen monarchs called the Dragon Force could be born. This game revolves around these 8 playable faction leaders that need to unite so then they could end the evil forever. There are 6 playable factions at the start of the game. Each control a geographic area. After you beat the game, an additional 2 more factions will be open. Each faction has a different storyline in the game. The faction leaders are pretty much standard fantasy. The main antagonist and the one I played the most is a goodly young knight. There is of course an evil black knight, a magic user, samurai, and even beastmen. Dragon Force has a JRPG story wrapped up in a military strategy game. The game revolves around turns. The first turn is the administration turn, which is used for army and castle management. In this turn, you do the boring administrative stuff to run a kingdom. You can recruit additional soldiers, strengthen your castle, promote generals to lead additional troops, negotiate with captured generals, or even search for magic items. The movement in battle phase is the fun stuff. This is where you move your units in real time across set points in a map. The top right of the screen shows an hourglass controlling the time in this phase. You move your armies around a map. There are settlements, forts, and castles. You need to move to an adjacent settlement to expand your influence. But you see the opposing faction armies are also moving around the map. So you will need to think about protecting your region from the outside attacks when you are launching your offensive. You also have to watch out for other armies that can spawn in places you might not be expecting, so you always need to have forces in many parts of the map. Castles hold up to 10 units, and an army can hold only 5, so an army could be at a disadvantage when attacking a powerful castle. So with no fog of war, you should always check to see how many units are in the castle. Combat is my favorite part of the game. There are 10 different troop types, and D&D players will recognize them. There are soldiers, mages, archers, and monks. Then there are monster type units that include harpies, zombies, and even dragons. There is definitely a rock, paper, scissors feel to the game. Some units are good against certain units and weak against others. The different generals can recruit different types of troops. It's not much of a hot take, but I recruited as many dragons as I could find. They're pretty solid at fighting all other units in the game. At the start and during the battle, you can issue commands to your troops. You can do things like advance in formation, stand stationary, retreat, and disperse. But the battle is not over until the general's health is reduced to 0. Some of the generals have spells. Some of the spells are used to attack troops, while some attack generals and others attack both. There are even spells that regenerate fallen troops. Some spells can utterly wipe out forces. The generals also gain experience from battles, and they do level up. I like to use a core group so they were at a higher level towards the end of the game. If all the troops on both sides have fallen, the screen shifts and becomes a 1v1 battle against generals. I always try to avoid this because it could be brutal. Many times it seemed that my general would take one attack while the enemy attacked multiple. The 2D graphics are some of the best for the time. I think the game is absolutely gorgeous. You know, I'm a huge Neo Geo fanboy, and I started saving for the gold system after I played Fatal Fury Special for the first time, so you think I know a little bit about 2D sprites. In the 90s, I worked at a video game store where I got to play many systems and games. In my mind, I always compared other 2D 32-bit games to Neo Geo games like Samurai Showdown and The King of Fighters 94. Many other systems have good 2D games, but I always thought the Neo Geo was on top. But then the Saturn started releasing games like Dragon Force, Guardian Heroes, and Astal, and I thought they went beyond the venerable Neo Geo. Dragon Force has full-screen magic effects with up to 200 units in all-out battles with no slowdown. You probably won't believe me, but this was revolutionary at the time. You can even zoom around the battlefield smoothly. Rayman on the Jag looked pretty good. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the 3DO amazed me when I first played it. Let me know in the comments if you think any other home system could have replicated Dragon Force at that time. The music is really good. The battle music is epic and does the job well. I never burned the music to a CD and played it out of my Jensen 6x9s in my Chevy Nova, but it's still some pretty solid music. I can't recommend Dragon Force enough. I think it really holds up now. The only issue is how to play it. I unfortunately do not have my original copy, and they are crazy expensive to buy. So I bought a repro off Etsy, and you will also need a pseudo Saturn Kai to play it. Thanks everyone for watching my review of Dragon Force. I hope it comes across how special this game is. Let me know in the comments if you've played Dragon Force and what you thought about it. And if you haven't played it, does it look interesting? I want to work on another review of maybe my favorite Sega Saturn game, Guardian Heroes. It's another insanely fun game. If you want to show support for the channel, all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed. And I'll see everybody on the next adventure.